What is up, guys? Level Up Sports Betting here. Super Bowl show, of course, on Sunday. The Super Bowl LV will take place between the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. The GOAT versus the GOAT, the baby GOAT, I should say, against the GOAT, Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes. We got Matty Ice, we've got Winter Wire, and we have Zane Giovanni. And Zane, first time a guest on the show. Been a big player prop guy throughout his entire time in the NFL this season, so he'll be giving out his player props as well. Kevin Davis can't be here today, but rest assured that he will be here the next time we go live. So we're going to start off with what we're going to take, and that's going to be Matty Ice, who'll be giving us his first picks of the day. Official plays, Matty Ice, what are you taking?
First off, I just want to say it's nice to not put a hockey pick out there. It's nice to finally get my feet wet in some other sports. I am taking the Chiefs -3. I mean, I think you could either buy a point. I think there's a better chance this game's a blowout than it stays close. That might be a hot take, but I call it like I see it. I don't see the Bucs
Very hot.
any real advantage in this game besides maybe defense, and the gap's not that big. That's just my personal opinion. My friends, especially Josh, may not agree with me, but we'll see. I just think the Bucs. Let's see, they beat the Redskins or the Washington football team with Heineke as the quarterback. They played a banged-up Saints team that gave up 4 turnovers. I don't see that happening again. And then the Packers had a fumble at the 9-yard line. Some other things not go their way, questionable coaching calls, and Tom Brady threw 3 picks. I think if you throw 3 picks, you're going to get absolutely destroyed by the Chiefs. He threw 2 picks the last time they played. And the last time they played, it was pretty much a blowout with some backdoor points scored. You can look at the scoreboard, take it how you see it on face value, but if you dig a little deeper, it was kind of a blowout. And I don't see it changing that much in this game. I think if Tom Brady plays out of his mind and he gets a couple questionable calls that goes his way, I think they can keep it close. But if he messes up once or twice, I think the Chiefs are a team that will completely capitalize on all those mistakes. So I will take the Chiefs -3 and take it to the bank.
And I think most people would agree with you, especially in this little group right here with the Chiefs. But I know you have a player prop that you want to give out. So talk about your player prop that you have in the Chiefs game.
Yes, I have Mecole Hardman to score a touchdown, +250. Andy Reid. This is more of an Andy Reid trick play off bye weeks, and also Tyreek Hill absolutely burned them the last time they played. So I think they're going to put extra emphasis on Tyreek Hill, and it gives a chance for the next fastest guy on the team to torch them if they forget about him. He scored in the last game they played. I think Andy Reid's going to utilize him on maybe some trick plays, or just Mahomes would look to find him a little more. I think they're going to overcommit to Tyreek Hill because he had 269 yards and 3 touchdowns last time they played. They don't want to get burned again by the same guy. I like his production. I like his talent. I think the kid's coming into his own. +250. I think it's a good contrarian play to the Kelsey and Tyreek Hill picks. I also don't want you guys to think I'm just a big Chiefs guy with this jersey. I'm talking all the Chiefs. I only bought this jersey because I had a future on him last year and it hit. But I do like the Chiefs in this game. So I'm not just a biased Chiefs fan. I just like to call it like I see it. Mecole Hardman, anytime touchdown scorer, +250.
And we should note that Sammy Watkins might be back in this game. Of course, Watkins was one of the better players in last year's playoff run. So there might be a little emphasis on him as well, which, again, gives Hardman more of an opportunity to score at +250. So we're going to go on now to Winter Wire. He has some picks that he wants to share as well. But this is an interesting one. It's a little bit different than what Matt had earlier. So, Josh from Winter Wire, do you want to give us your pick for the Chiefs and Buccaneers game, the Super Bowl LV?
Yeah, you want my money line for not my money line, my picks first?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm buying the Chiefs down to -2.5 right now. I think that it's going to be a very similar game to the one they played already. Mahomes had 463 yards and they still only scored 27 points. I think that it's going to be one of those games you feel like the Chiefs were in control the whole time, but it ends up being a 3-point game because Tom Brady always hangs around. And because I'm confident that it will be like that, I want to win. I'm not playing to push, so I'm going to buy that half point.
And if we watched week 12 in that game, of course, the Chiefs got out to a huge lead against the Buccaneers, but somehow, some way, that Buccaneers came back. And if you had plus 2.5, or if you had plus 2.5 for the Chiefs, it would have just missed. It was a 3-point game. I think the Bucks had plus 3. Is what I'm trying to say. The Bucks had plus 3 and did. It was 27-24 in that game.
It's worth that
it came all the way back in that one. So definitely interesting look right there. There might be some rain on the forecast in this game, so maybe an extra point misses here and there, which could be a big difference to that 3 number. Another pick for Winter Wire doesn't like the Chiefs to score a whole lot, but of course doesn't like the Buccaneers score a whole lot either, because it does have the Chiefs at minus 2.5 as Matt sits up there holding the Chiefs blowout sign for Josh to know what he thinks. But tell us a little bit about why you like the Chiefs under 29.5, even though you also like the Chiefs to win this game at minus 2.5.
Yeah, because like I said, the last time out, Mahomes had 463 yards, and he's not gonna throw for more than that. He's not gonna throw for close to that, and that doesn't mean he's gonna have a bad game. It just means that they know what they're doing. They know how to bend but not break. The defense is fast. They make plays, but the Chiefs are just the better team. But at the same time, that being the better team doesn't mean you're going to score 100 points. I think that it's either going to be one of these 3. It's going to be 24-21, 27-21, or 27-24.
It's real interesting knowing that the Buccaneers secondary is really banged up, but all these guys seem like they are going to be playing, from Whitehead to Winfield. The entire defense looks like they will be playing after all, but they're definitely banged up.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes it's just, you're not 100% healthy when you're playing, and that can sometimes be detrimental to the team as well. I know you have some player props that you wanted to get to. The first one for you, Leonard Fournette on the Buccaneers over 11.5 rushing attempts. Tell me why you like that. Fournette obviously taking over Ronald Jones in the running back position. It's playoff Lenny time. So tell us why you like this one.
Yeah, because I think it's very clear who the lead back is. No matter what they say, there's no reason for them to bash Ronald Jones. He's a good back too. But you brought Leonard Fournette there for a reason, right? And you've seen these playoffs that he's gotten the ball, he's gotten the job done. And he may not blow you away with 35 carries because they have Tom Brady. They have 3 all-pro receivers. But I think that he should get between 14 and 17 carries. That's my opinion, because the Chiefs defense, you got to try and catch them off guard. So you're going to try the run, you're going to try the pass, you're going to try the play action, all that.
And there you have it. So you like Fournette over 11.5 rushing attempts. This is a guy that thinks the game will be a little bit lower scoring, more running involved, a lot less passing.
The rain's a factor too.
Exactly. The rain could be a factor in this game. Of course, there could be rain in the forecast, so that could definitely change things. You have one last player prop, and that's Travis Kelce under 94.5 receiving yards. I think a lot of people here watching this are wondering what the heck you're doing. So if you want to explain this one, if you hit this one, I think you're going to look like a real genius here. So please explain why you like Travis Kelce under 94.5 receiving yards in this one.
Yeah, so you look at it, and the Buccaneers have played 20 games, including the playoffs this year, right? Do you know how many times a tight end went over 90 yards?
No.
Once.
Wow. 1 out of 20.
1 out of 20. I'm looking at it right now. There's a couple 80s, and it's not like they're not getting targets. 8 yards, 8 receptions, 9 receptions, 10 receptions. But if you think about it, just because he gets the ball doesn't mean he's going to break away like he does against some of these teams. Like I've been saying, it's a fast defense. Devin White, Levante David, they'll contain the damage with him. He will be important. He'll get some key first downs. He'll probably get the ball 11, 12 times, maybe even get a rushing touchdown, honestly, with these Chiefs. Who knows? But that doesn't go in my receiving yards, sorry.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is that you look at this fast, young Tampa defense. I could kind of lead you into who I think my MVP is. I don't know if you're interested. Hello. Okay, no, I was looking for Jason to say something.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
I'm exactly
Uh,
opposite Matt on everything this game except who we think is gonna win, which is the Chiefs, because even if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's a hurricane, it doesn't matter. Just because Tyreek Hill had 250 yards last time does not mean that he's not going to do it again. And I at plus 1,000, that is ridiculous odds for him to not have that one play that makes the difference in the entire game. You look at how it's been a quarterback centric award, so you kind of go for the value. And I don't think Mahomes is going to have as good of a game as he did. It was like what, like week week 11, week
week
12,
12,
whatever.
yes.
Oh, week 12. Oh, and I could tell you that week 12, Kelsey had 84 yards against them. I forgot that
Yeah.
they played each
And he
other
still
for a
had
second.
8 catches, so he still
9.
had his volume, or 9 catches, so he still had his volume, still couldn't get the 100 or 95 yards. So it's an interesting look. That stat is really interesting, knowing that only once out of 20 times the tight end got in over 100 yards. So that definitely scares me away from Kelsey there. But I don't know if I would have the guts to also take the under there, because as we do know, Kelsey is a different tight end compared to other tight ends in the league. But definitely a great look there. So there's Josh's picks for and some really interesting looks there. A little contradicting of what Matt has, but I think we're all
Tyreek
on
Hill
the same
MVP.
page. We're all on the same page when it comes to the Chiefs, though, which is really
Okay.
awesome there. So now we're gonna head on over to Zane. And Zane, you have one of your first picks. That's the Chiefs money line, but you said you're waiting because you think the line is going to go lower when everyone starts taking the Bucks. So explain your reason on why you think the Chiefs money line will drop down to minus 140 and why you're waiting for that 140 line.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jason. Hey, everyone out there. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm not forcing a play on this one. I do think the Chiefs are going to win. I do think that if you want to jump and take the -3 or better, I think you're going to be a winner. But I also tend to know that during the Super Bowl, there's a lot more casual bettors that come out there, and especially with these sports books expanding to all of these different states, you're going to have even more of a handle that these books are going to have, and people are going to want to bet Tom Brady because they know the name, they want the plus money, and they're just going to take Buccaneers money line, and you're going to start to already see that movement in the line happen.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is I am not going to force this play. I'm going to wait until Sunday, maybe an hour or less before kickoff, to see if I can get that money line to come down to -140. I know it's not going to go up above, into the 3.5 range unless there's a significant injury that comes out. So I'm going to take my chances here, wait until right before kickoff, and I'll see if I can get the Chiefs -140 or better.
Yeah, and that's a really good idea. And I think a lot of people will end up just putting their money right away on the Super Bowl and don't think of it like that. And your thinking is more logically like, all right, well, I think more bettors are going to start putting their money on Brady as the Super Bowl approaches, because of course everyone knows Tom Brady. He's the GOAT, and he's won all these times. This is his 10th Super Bowl. He's been in it, basically half the seasons that he's played in. So a ton of people are going to be putting money on Tom Brady before the kickoff in the Super Bowl. So definitely a great look there. And I love the pick too. And I'll definitely share my pick after you. And I think we're on the same side there. I know you're a big player prop guy, of course. Been doing it all season long, been cashing all season long. And so your first pick here is Godwin over 75.5 receiving yards at plus 100. Again, Godwin, this is the guy that's in the slot. And has a pretty good matchup there. So if you want to talk about his matchup in the slot and how Brady's been kind of throwing the ball a ton in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the interesting quotes that came out throughout, I think it was in the middle of the season when Tom Brady was just getting used to the chemistry on the team, is that he said that Chris Godwin may have some of the best hands he's ever thrown to before. And since Godwin came back from injury near the end of the season, he slowly ramped up, but he has been the go-to guy. He gets the biggest target share, even with Antonio Brown coming in. We're still looking at the biggest target share going to Godwin. And so what we're looking at here with the Chiefs on their defensive side is they really do a fantastic job of smothering the outside receivers. So, you may have a play to take Mike Evans to score an anytime touchdown in this one, but really I wouldn't look at Mike Evans to do much else. I don't want to mess with secondary and Tyrann Mathieu and Antonio Brown. Might get, I think this is something that the safeties and the Chiefs corners will be really looking to stick it to Antonio Brown. So what that leaves me with is Chris Godwin in the slot. And when they played earlier this season, Godwin had 8 receptions for over 90 yards. Can't remember exactly what the number landed on, but it was well above this 75.5 that what we're looking at here. And the matchups are just more conducive to it. And so if you're going to give me plus money to take a reasonable number at 75.5, this is the biggest play that I'm taking for the game. I did take a look at, the Travis Kelce and the Tyreek Hill number, especially with Hill going off in that game in week 13, which, I put out on the Discord, just want to say, and
He did.
off, and he went off on that game. But I think that the Tampa Bay secondary is going to really make an effort to just stop him from going over the top. You're going to see a lot of underneath routes. But right now, the receptions are really juiced for both Kelce and for Tyreek Hill, so I can't really make a play on receptions for either of the guys. And for yards, both Tyreek and Travis Kelce are getting close to that 100 mark. And, if we can get casual bettors to keep getting in there and maybe pushing that number up above 105, I might look to come back and play the under like Josh did for Kelce.
Yeah. And going back to Godwin, he is going to be facing L'Jarius Sneed in the slot, and Sneed is not the best slot corner. It doesn't grade pretty well at all, which will be pretty interesting. I know you have another one here, Tom Brady over 0.5 rushing yards at plus 120. You're not afraid that he's going to start kneeling it and get the win and you lose it, or you think the Chiefs are going to win easily, no kneeling whatsoever, and Brady will get that rushing yard?
If Tampa Bay gets to the point here where they're kneeling it, I'll take the loss. That's it. It just is at that point. I don't see that happening though. What I see here are really two coaches that look at analytics and they go for it on fourth down. When they're in the red zone, they're not settling for field goals. They are trying to pick up the first. And Tom Brady over his entire career has been known for that 1 yard quarterback sneak rush. Or if it's 4th and 1, he's just sneaking it and going the 1 yard. I think Tom Brady is at the end of his career. This is probably his last stand, I would think. Yeah. And he wants to. He's going to give us a classic Tom Brady 1 yard plunge, I think, somewhere in this game. That 4th down going for the first, or if it's right by the end zone.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give me plus 120 on it, I'll throw something on that for that to happen.
Yeah, it's just 1 yard. Even the old man can get 1 yard. We have one more play that you're taking. This is the field goal prop, and it's the famous field goal prop in the Discord and Patreon. And definitely go check that Discord link down below in the description box on YouTube. We have now over 200 people in the Discord, and we're all giving out our free picks and cashing at a really high rate right now. But yeah, that field goal prop a ton of time. We've taken that a ton of times, and we've gotten the attempts. Not all the time do we get the field goals to go through, with guys like Bucker missing field goals when they really shouldn't be, because it's just our luck. But this time, Zane going to go the other direction. He's looking for no field goals and going under, because he knows with the rain, potentially, I'm assuming, it's definitely going to be a factor in this game with field goals.
You've got number one, you've got rain that's going to be a factor in this one. I mentioned before the coaching and their reliance on analytics. I think both teams kind of figure that these are both high-powered offenses if they get clicking and going. So I think if you see a team, whether it's the Chiefs or the Bucs, get out to a touchdown lead, the other coach is going to know you can't settle for field goals, because if you get down 14-3, it's a big hole to get out of, even for the Chiefs in this case. So I don't think you're going to see them settle for field goals. I think you're going to see, if it's 4th and manageable, they will go for it. And I think they know that you score touchdowns to win this game. You don't settle for field goals.
and we'll look at the Packers and their decision to kick that field goal and basically essentially lose that game. So, of course, you would hope in the Super Bowl that they don't just kick the field goals and they look to actually try to win the game. And both these coaches, you would think that they would make the right decision. And in those spots, like Aaron Rodgers was in with the Packers the game before, you would think that both these guys are definitely going to be kicking or going for it on fourth down and not kicking the field goal. All right, Zane. So those are your picks. Definitely some really great ones there. For me, I'm going with the Chiefs at -160. I didn't place it just like Zane. I didn't place it yet, but I will be placing the Chiefs on the money line. Right now, I see it the best at -160, but of course, I can get that at -140. I certainly will. I just think the Buccaneers, that secondary, again, is banged up, and we did see Tyreek Hill just go off against that secondary already. Of course, the Buccaneers did make adjustments. They got better as the game went on, but we're just seeing a different breed of speed with the Chiefs. And for Buccaneers that are banged up, one, number two, just the Chiefs just have just amazing speed to get through this entire secondary. I just don't think that the Bucs secondary can do much damage here. But then on the flip side, I do think that the bigger thing here will be the Chiefs. They can get some pressure on Brady. And I do think they will. I've been impressed with how the Chiefs have played in their secondary so far. And if they're able to cover for 5-6 seconds, definitely be able to get the pressure on Brady, and Brady will definitely make mistakes. He's had a ton of turnovers recently, and I think that will continue on into this game as well. So I do like the Chiefs in this spot. I do think their offense will definitely overpower the Buccaneers, and definitely think the Buccaneers defense is banged up and won't be able to stick around with all that Chiefs speed. So again, I'm on the Chiefs on the money line at -160. Not official yet, but it will be official that I'll be taking the money line just like Zane. Just waiting, see if I can get a better number. Of course, want to go lastly, just look at the MVP winners. I know Josh touched up on it just recently, but Matt, do you want to give us your MVP winner or who you think is going to win the MVP in this game?
Yeah, actually, one quick thing, as Zane was talking about before, how he's waiting to place that money line bet. Interesting fact: the Bucs have scored the first touchdown of every game that they've played. So if they do score first, and usually the Bucs tend to receive the kickoff, and the Chiefs like to defer. So say the Bucs get the kickoff, they go down and score first. As soon as that Chiefs money line hits that plus, I'll hit that all day. So if you can wait till game time. You can wait till if they score first. If that happens, I will. You might not see me next week if the Bucs end to win that game, but I will hammer that Chiefs plus if I ever see that plus in the first half, especially. As for MVP, I actually sprinkled a little bit on Mahomes MVP when it was plus money. I don't really see any value when it goes under plus money, but I also have a hard time thinking it's not going to be anyone but the quarterbacks, because as Zane was saying, as we were talking earlier, that it was arguable that Damian Williams could have won MVP last year. And he didn't. He went to Mahomes. And I think it's going to take a big, big game for something like that to happen. And even if so, it could still go to a quarterback. But other than that.
But no, let me just play devil's advocate. If you think that the Chiefs are going to win, and you think the Chiefs, the only player that could win the MVP if the Chiefs win is Mahomes, then you're getting a better line on the Chiefs to win the entire game on the money line. So it's definitely an interesting thought there. Of course, like if Tyreek Hill has a 265-yard receiving game, I think the MVP would go to Tyreek Hill. But definitely another option, definitely to think about if you think Mahomes would be the only guy to win the MVP if the Chiefs actually end up winning. Definitely an interesting look there with you there with Mahomes. Going on to Josh, we talked about your MVP winner for a second, but if you want to elaborate and continue on with your thought.
Yeah, I don't really think he needs 250 yards to get it. I just think because he could just have that one big play that changes the entire game. And also to be Matt's contrarian today, I think that they might have learned from last year how people said that about Damian Williams, that if someone's worthy, they might lean towards the other way. But I think that Tyreek Hill at plus 1,000 is stupid value. Even if you just want to hedge with Mahomes or hedge the other way around, because I really think that there's no way that they're going to contain him in the slot. And I think that he is a matchup nightmare for any corner in the league, let alone their slot corner who's garbage. I mean, obviously you could tell by my shirt I'm a Saints fan, so I've seen it 3 times this year. How he's
are you talking about Bunting?
No, Dean.
Oh, Dean. Okay, yeah, they're all pretty bad and they're all banged up. So yeah, I'm with
Okay.
you on Hill going off for sure.
Yeah, but I think that it might even be a rush play or something crazy. I think this playbook is going to be something like you've never seen before, and it's going to be like what's going to make this game worth watching, because you think about it, you got 2 great coaches too, and you look for the Swiss Army knife kind of guys to do those plays. Like, I agree with Zane that Chris Godwin is the guy over there. Well, he didn't say MVP, but he said yards. Like, if someone was going to go absolutely bananas and be the guy to bring the Bucs to victory, it would probably be him. But he's also commented on a lot of guys' hands, but Chris Godwin is just different. And but since I'm going with the Chiefs, I'm going with Tyreek Hill. I'm not going with the quarterback because you can get so much more value in another position.
I agree. All right, now Zane, your MVP winner.
I love value. That's great and everything, but you got to win to get the value. And go off, like have that Tyreek Hill game that he had in week 13. It's not going to be anyone but the quarterbacks. And, I've watched enough UFC and wrestling in my life to know a good storyline when I see one. It's either give the title belt to the champion and let him go off in the sunset and let him retire with it, or it's the anointment. It's WrestleMania. You're giving the belt to the next guy passing the torch. And when you have a storyline that writes itself like that, the NFL just is – they're going to give it to a quarterback as long as it is close. And I think last year Damian Williams won it hands down. That his numbers were
that's a good point.
20 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was him that did it, and they still gave it to Mahomes, which was a shocker. And I'm sure there were plenty of people that had those bets out there with Williams for MVP and didn't cash when they should have. So I think it's going to a quarterback.
Yep, and lastly, I certainly agree. Mahomes, I think, will be the MVP winner. I don't think they can give it to anyone else other than a quarterback. I agree with all of these gentlemen. And that wrapped up the show. A lot of picks, a lot of official plays on the NFL Super Bowl show. That the game starts on Sunday at 6:30. I know you guys don't need any alerts or me to tell you what time this game is, because everyone's going to be watching the game. Should be lots of fun. All 4 of us were all on the Chiefs. So if you need a best bet, or you want just one bet, the Chiefs on the money line or Chiefs minus 2.5 or at most -3 seem like the plays. If you want to be a little bit risky, take that -3. If you want just that winner, take that Chiefs on the money line. But like Zane said, like I said, definitely wait a little bit. You might get a better line. And of course, if you live in a state like New Jersey, there's a lot of different sports books that are giving out some free bets and a lot of free money. So definitely check those offers and get as much money as possible from the Super Bowl, because there's a lot of offers out there and there's a lot of money to just to grab, and put Chiefs money on it. When you put the Chiefs money on it, you're like doubling your money, which is even better. So definitely look out for those offers. But again, thank you guys for joining and checking our Super Bowl show. Usually on Fridays we would go live at 8:15, but today had to do the Super Bowl because you guys asked for it, and we wanted to provide you guys with the best bets in the Super Bowl. So again, thanks again for joining. I had Matt, Josh, and Zane all with me, giving you guys best bets, and appreciate them being here. Again, thanks. Look in the description. Look at that Discord. Join. We have 200 plus people in there getting our best bets and picks, and we've been cashing already 4-0 on the day today. Josh hit 3 soccer winners. I already hit a college basketball winner, and we're going to hit so many more bets tonight. So definitely check that out. And again, thank you guys for joining. We will see you guys on Monday. We'll be off Saturday and Sunday, so we'll be seeing you guys on Monday. Thanks again.